Last time, we saw Vegeta come back to Earth, as well as the battle that followed from that event. Gohan and Goten were able to achieve Super Saiyan on their own, and actually ended up defeating Vegeta. But what's going to happen from here on out? Are they going to kill Vegeta? And what's going to happen with Frieza? That's still a loose end. We'll be seeing all that and more in this part 5 of What If Gohan Had a Twin. Vegeta slowly reawakens from being unconscious, and he looks around him seeing the same people that he was fighting before. Well, besides Raditz. Gohan and Goten are on the ground, still unconscious themselves. Goku and Piccolo have healed up though. Thankfully Goku even did get a Senzu Bean. And as for Piccolo, he was probably the least injured of everybody because again, Vegeta did have to keep him alive for the Dragon Balls. Although, it's not like Vegeta's gonna get a chance to use them now. And he realizes that everything that happened, it wasn't just a bad dream. It actually did occur. Those two hybrid Saiyan children, they were able to become Super Saiyans as well and defeat him. It's such a blow to his ego. He can't believe that. And that's on top of the fact that he was defeated in general. Even as a Super Saiyan, he couldn't win here. How is he going to defeat Frieza if that's the case? Goku and Piccolo are now deciding what to do next. Piccolo thinks they should just kill Vegeta. Honestly, they should have killed him before when they had the chance. And now they have an even better reason and opportunity too. Clearly Vegeta's going to keep coming back and keep being a threat. He even killed one of them already. But Goku's surprisingly casual about this. And it's not because he doesn't care about Raditz, it's because first of all, he knows that Raditz is going to be revived. Vegeta's not going to get the Dragon Balls, and he couldn't even get them right now anyways. He's going to have to wait a few weeks. And once those Dragon Balls are active again, they're going to bring Raditz back. But besides that, the main reason Goku's not too concerned is because they defeated Vegeta twice, and now they have two Super Saiyans on their side. Vegeta's not going to be a problem any longer, and even if he continues coming back and forth, yeah, they're not going to worry about that. Besides, Goku says it's better to keep his enemies at arm's length. Wait, is he implying that he wants Vegeta to stay here? Well, yeah, Vegeta clearly has a lot to teach about Super Saiyan. And they definitely have a way to benefit him too. He still wants to defeat Frieza, right? So why not help him defeat Frieza? Frieza's probably going to track him down eventually anyways, and clearly he's not ready to fight him yet if he can't fight just two kids. Now, Goku doesn't know how strong this Frieza guy is, but he would like to fight him himself too. And Vegeta's disgusted by this idea. First of all, he's not staying on this planet. And second of all, if they even do fight Frieza, he's going to fight Frieza alone. He's the only one capable of it, and he wants the glory. He wants to be the one who kills Frieza. They're idiots for letting him live again. They're such weaklings for that too. Does Kakarot just not have the stomach to kill him? And on top of that too, it's just embarrassing, the fact that Vegeta's being spared twice in a row. He tries to go over to where the ship is, but he sees nothing there. It seems amidst all the chaos, especially with Gohan and Goten becoming great apes, that amazing spaceship that Vegeta came here on, yeah, it was destroyed. Vegeta doesn't even have a way to leave this planet even if he wanted to. At least, not any that he knows of. Piccolo and Goku continue discussing what to do next, with Goku trying to convince Piccolo that, yeah, they should just keep Vegeta here. Piccolo really doesn't agree with it at first, but he realizes that Goku is right. Defeating Vegeta a third time won't be that hard. And Vegeta can't believe what he's hearing either. It's so embarrassing. But it looks like he doesn't have a choice. And maybe he can train here a bit. Clearly they've grown strong in their own right. Even in their base forms, they surpassed his base. The only reason Vegeta had an advantage was because he had Super Saiyan, but Kakarot and even Raditz, how did they grow so strong? Vegeta's been doing such intense training out in space, even abusing Zenkais. At least to the best of his ability. It's not like he could do that to himself. But here it seems like they're living peaceful lives and somehow growing stronger, so maybe Vegeta does have something to learn from them. And again, it's not like he has a choice anyways. It looks like he's stuck on this planet. A few more weeks pass. Vegeta is kept under watch and eventually does heal up too. Maybe even being slipped a Senzu Bean by Goku. Eventually the Dragon Balls do reappear, and Goku works quickly to get them all. He doesn't want Vegeta to even have a chance at getting them. It's not like Vegeta would know how to use them anyways, but still. They get the Dragon Balls, and they summon Shenron asking for Raditz to be revived. Raditz reappears on Earth and is pretty surprised to be back here. He didn't think that they would want to revive him. Although the circumstances here are a lot better for Goku and Raditz. Obviously this Raditz is inspired by the one from the What If Raditz Survives scenario, and the circumstances here are way better for him, because in that scenario, there was tension between Raditz and everyone, but there's a lot more working in Raditz's favor here. He's kind of embarrassed to see that Kakarot's caring for him, but you know, he also appreciates his brother bringing him back to life. Gohan was born with a twin and has a brother alongside him at all times, and now it seems like Goku's gonna also have a brother alongside him at all times too. Although, Raditz is pretty pissed off at Vegeta. He even agrees with Piccolo. They should have killed Vegeta while they had the chance. But Goku reminds him that they defeated Vegeta twice. Wouldn't it be better to embarrass Vegeta again if he causes any issues? And you know what? Yeah, Raditz kinda likes that idea. Taunting Vegeta about this, with Vegeta going Super Saiyan in response, threatening to kill Raditz right on the spot. And when he does this, Gohan and Goten go Super Saiyan on the spot, threatening to beat Vegeta once more. Look at that, the Prince of all Saiyans is scared by two low-class children. On second thought, yeah, Raditz does like this a lot. The next step though is for Goku and Raditz to get Super Saiyan for themselves. Although, Vegeta's definitely not going to be the one to help them with that. But Vegeta realizes, from that battle, he grew even further. Obviously this goes for everyone in that battle besides Piccolo. All the Saiyans benefited from Zenkais. But Vegeta thinks that maybe with this push, they'll be able to defeat Frieza. Or rather, he can at the very least. He even tries to make use of the gravity training facilities around them, which is the first time he gets to meet Bulma too. Although he pushes her away because he wants to be alone right now. He's very angsty at the moment. So from this point on, a few more months pass. Everyone tries to do their own sorts of training, with Goku trying to get Super Saiyan for himself, as well as trying to train the two kids. Because, yeah, while he doesn't have Super Saiyan, that doesn't mean he can't teach them. They're even confused by this too, because wouldn't they be the ones teaching him? Well, he could teach them at least some sort of skills behind Super Saiyan. He's sure if they get a better grasp on Ki and such that'll help with Super Saiyan. And he can learn from them too. Plus, Piccolo also tries to help here too. He was the one who watched them turn Super Saiyan, and he can see that it was unlocked their anger. It seems like that was the case with Vegeta as well. Piccolo's going to try and help control and moderate their anger, because while they were able to access that rage beforehand, now in Super Saiyan it's a different story. And Raditz is there to help them too. They're getting 3 different types of training. Piccolo's helping them with their rage, Raditz is helping them with their Saiyan instincts, and Goku's helping them as martial artists and Ki users. Of course, with Vegeta on his own during this entire time. But eventually, Frieza does actually come to Earth just like they thought, finally locating Vegeta's ship, or at least its remains. They were able to track down where the ship was last seen. It took a while since Vegeta tried to jam the communications, but now they have it. And Frieza brings in everyone. He knows that Vegeta was going to betray him before, and he wanted to kill Vegeta in the first place. That's why he sent Zarbon and Dodoria with him alone. He doesn't know how Vegeta killed them, but he did kill them. And even though they were trying to kill him in the first place, Frieza considers this a betrayal, a direct threat. So he calls in everyone. First, the Ginyu Force descends on Earth with all of Frieza's army. And they're not playing around. They're going to wipe out this entire planet until they find Vegeta. But thankfully he doesn't make it too hard. He comes out right away and simply blasts down the entire army. The Ginyu Force has a much better chance. But Vegeta says he doesn't even need to transform. This might be a fun test of his base power at least, as he wards off the entire Ginyu Force on his own. Eventually everyone else does sense what's going on and decides to come over there to see what's happening with Frieza. But by the time they get over there, all they see is Vegeta in a wasteland surrounded by dozens of corpses. At least the corpses of the people who were lucky enough to not get decimated completely by him. Just to anger Frieza even more, Vegeta decides to show off his transformation, going Super Saiyan right in front of the Emperor. And out of complete fear, Frieza transforms, showing off his full strength too, realizing that he's not going to be able to fight a Super Saiyan in his current state. He's also kind of terrified of this. He knew Vegeta was betraying him, but he didn't realize that this is what happened. Gohan and Goten fly in alongside him, going Super Saiyan as well, and Vegeta tells him to get out of the way, with Frieza even more shocked. There's 2 Saiyan kids here, and they're also Super Saiyans? And he looks around and sees that there's another Saiyan, one that looks exactly like the one who stood up against him a long time ago, and Raditz is there too, looking completely different. What's been happening under his nose this entire time? He didn't even realize. And the fight with Frieza isn't really anything spectacular. By now, Vegeta does have enough strength to defeat Frieza on his own. Plus, Gohan and Goten are helping even though Vegeta doesn't want to. But Vegeta does get the kill, defeating Frieza in cold blood. And likely at some point King Cold will show up too, but he's not going to be an issue either. But luckily, it seems like Earth is finally at peace. Vegeta is no longer an issue, Frieza and King Cold aren't a threat anymore, and everything that started from Raditz arriving on Earth has now been solved. Piccolo and Raditz have definitely cooled down and aren't really villains anymore. They definitely aren't great people still, but they've been shaped into better people thanks to Goku, Gohan, and Goten being around them the entire time. Hopefully the same will happen with Vegeta. Especially because after being embarrassed so many times, he secludes himself. He is on Earth, but he never really associates with anyone, which will come into play later on. Because not too long after all of this, a new person shows up on Earth. Or rather, in this timeline, there's a time traveler that appears. It's some kid wearing a Capsule Corp shirt, and they don't recognize who this guy is, and he doesn't give away his identity. Although, he does meet with Goku secretly, with Piccolo nearby eavesdropping in. This kid says he's not from this timeline. He's from the future, and his name is Trunks. And what's more, he shows off that he can become a Super Saiyan, transforming right in front of Goku. This amazes Goku because he's only just on the cusp of Super Saiyan. He doesn't have access to it fully yet. There's another Super Saiyan? That's amazing. But who is he and why is he here? So he explains. Trunks was born a bit later than normal, also because Bulma met Vegeta later than normal too. Especially with Vegeta being so secluded right now, Trunks is younger, but yes, they do get together. Which is also why he needs his identity secret right now, because otherwise he won't be born here. He, Gohan, and Goten were the last survivors. The last survivors of what? And he begins explaining the androids and the threat that they posed. Goku ended up dying from the heart virus like normal, and then 3 androids appeared attacking everybody. After years of fighting them off, and with Gohan and Goten being so powerful and having Super Saiyan right off the bat, it still wasn't enough. Their first encounter with the androids didn't go well. Everyone died. Piccolo, Krillin, Ten, Yamcha, Chaozu, Vegeta, Raditz, everybody. The only fighters that lived were Gohan and Goten. And after years of growing even more powerful and getting stronger in Super Saiyan, it still wasn't enough. Now, if it were just 17 and 18, they actually would have won here. But there's one really big issue here. There's not just 2 androids, there's 3. Gero had more, stronger fighters to deal with, so reluctantly he activated an extra android when he did. Of course, 17 and 18 still did kill him. So it wasn't Gero that was there attacking, it was actually android 16. he did have some issues, but Jiro didn't really have any other options. 16 is solely focused on killing Goku, Gohan, and Goten, and with Goku gone, he's only really focused on the other two. And for the rest of the battles, he just stands there. He didn't even attack anyone in the first encounter. It's so weird because it seems like 16's not a threat, but when Gohan and Goten are involved, he directly fights against them. And Trunks warns Goku about when they're going to show up and what the androids are like. He also does give Goku his heart virus medicine. And Trunks doesn't really want to meet the others right now because then he's going to have to explain himself, and he doesn't want to mess up the timeline or anything. But he does note that it's weird to see Gohan and Goten this young. They're only a few years younger than him right now. He's so used to them being like big brothers, but he's glad to see that they're thriving in this timeline, and he hopes that's going to remain. Trunks will return in a few years to make sure everything went okay. But before he leaves, Goku does ask something. Vegeta ended up with Bulma, but did Raditz ever end up with anyone? And Trunks actually never knew Raditz well. But from what Bulma told him, he was always just a flirt and loved his motorcycle and fighting more than he loved women. The only other thing that Bulma mentioned was that he got very angry when he saw that Goku died. But she never really knew Raditz that well either. He was only ever really close with Goku, and that makes Goku kinda happy, realizing that Raditz is gonna only grow closer to them. Weird considering how he first introduced himself. But also Goku was just wondering if Raditz would have had a kid, and he guesses he's better off as a bachelor anyways. Looks like he's not gonna change much in that regard. They decide to leave the androids alive, and the group trains rigorously over the 3 years. Another big thing here is that Goku takes his heart virus medicine. He eventually does unlock Super Saiyan over this time period, as does Raditz. But with him unlocking it, it happens later on so he doesn't really have a good control in it. It strains his body a lot more, which means the heart virus symptoms actually do appear a bit sooner because of it. Thankfully, Gohan and Goten are attentive enough to notice that, so he's cured of the heart virus right before the androids actually do show up. And by the time they show up, they see 3 androids in the city just like Trunks told them. But what they don't realize is that 2 of the androids are some that they don't know about. The 3 androids in the city are 16, 19, and 20. Jiro did need extra manpower, but didn't want to resort to the other 2 yet. 16 has issues with being too passive, but it's better than the issues that 17 and 18 have, where they don't even obey him. And just like he thought, this does draw Goku out, as well as the rest of his family. He doesn't want to just eliminate Goku. He wants to eliminate Goku's entire lineage. He's thriving. He has 2 kids that are just as strong as him, probably even stronger at this point. Which they are, they're even beyond that. So he sees those 2 kids as threats as well. But it's almost as if Goku knew he was going to be here because he comes to the city with all these other fighters. Goku, Raditz, Vegeta, Gohan, and Goten are all there, all in Super Saiyan. Plus, Piccolo, Krillin, Ten, and Yamcha came along too. Trunks isn't born right now, so thankfully Bulma's not in danger. So when Trunks comes back, he still is going to have to hide his identity a bit. But that's besides the point, because now they're fighting the androids. Android 19 is destroyed, and Jiro is also nearly killed. But thanks to 16 being there to help, he acts as a bodyguard and helps escort Jiro away. 16 did show a lot of power, but again, he was only really fighting Gohan, Goku, and Goten. And the rest of the fighters realize how big of a threat the androids would be, especially since they got away here. They escape into a wasteland, and Raditz is the one to follow. They can't sense the androids, but simply put, he could just eliminate this entire area and that might get rid of them. Raditz charges as much energy as possible in Super Saiyan, ready to test the full power of this transformation since he's never really had an opportunity. He actually remembers Nappa in this moment, realizing that that oath was useful for one thing, and that's the technique he's about to steal, as he uses Nappa's giant storm, wiping out the entire area, although the androids are nowhere in sight and it doesn't seem like that he did any damage to them. At least from what they could see, Raditz did actually severely injure Jiro, but since the androids can't be sensed, they're able to make it out of there too. And thankfully with that attack, Jiro couldn't absorb any of the ki because most of the damage came from the ground exploding rather than the ki behind it. Trunks eventually does show up too, now looking like his normal self because he's aged a bit. And when they describe the androids that they were fighting, he says that only one of them is the one that he fought, Android 16. The other 2, he's never seen them before. Yeah, they might have easily defeated one of the androids and almost defeated another, but still, it looks like 2 others are about to appear. Something went wrong here. Something's different. They need to find Jiro right now, and this does concern the group, especially Piccolo, realizing that there's going to be other androids here and they might be even stronger. He might need more power for this, and the rest of the group might need some more power as well. This is where we'll leave off for now. What'd you guys think about this part? And what's going to happen next time? Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. As usual, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help out the channel. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.